You'd think you know horror movies. Well, let me tell you, some of the most terrifying stories ever put on screen, they were inspired by something real, something truly grotesque. This is the story of Ed Gein. And that's the part that really gets you, isn't it? The man behind all this wasn't some creature lurking in the shadows. Nope, he was just a quiet handyman from Plainfield, Wisconsin, a guy his neighbors knew, a guy they figured was, well, totally harmless. So our story really kicks off at the very end of his. It's November 1957. Police decide to search his remote farmhouse, and what they walked into, well, it would haunt them for the rest of their lives. I mean, just look at this list. It's unimaginable. As the police went through the house, they found bowls made from human skulls, chairs literally upholstered with human skin, and a lampshade made from a human face. The scene was so bad that one of the officers reportedly died of a heart attack months later. His friends said the memories of that night just killed him. So that's the big question, right? How does a person become this? To even begin to understand the monster, we've got to rewind. We have to go back and look at the boy and the absolutely toxic world that created him. And the answer, as it so often does, begins in his childhood, which honestly was like a masterclass in psychological torment, all orchestrated by the two most important people in his life. On one side, you had his father, George. He was an abusive alcoholic, just completely checked out emotionally.
And on the other side, you had his mother, Augusta, a religious fanatic who was just suffocatingly present. So Ed feared his father, but he absolutely idolized his mother, who ran that isolated farmhouse with a total iron fist. This was the gospel, according to Augusta. She drilled this terrifying worldview into Ed and his brother Henry day in and day out, reading from the Bible about murder and divine punishment. She taught them the world outside their farm was sinful, and that all women, except for her, of course, were basically instruments of the devil. She even made her boys swear an oath to be virgins for their entire lives. And then, just like that, his whole world fell apart. First, his father died. Then his brother Henry died, under really suspicious circumstances, right after arguing with Augusta about her crazy hold over Ed. And then, just a year later, Augusta herself was gone. Suddenly, at 39 years old, Ed Gein was completely, totally alone. With no one left to control him, Ed's private little world just spiraled into madness. He boarded up his mother's rooms, keeping them like a shrine, and started to feed his darkest curiosities. It started with books. He was just devouring stuff on Nazi medical experiments and human anatomy. But reading wasn't enough, so he started robbing graves, digging up the bodies of middle-aged women. But here's the thing about Wisconsin winters. The ground freezes solid, so when he couldn't dig anymore, his methods had to change. He escalated. He only ever confessed to 2 murders, Mary Hogan and Bernice Warden, and they both had one crucial thing in common. They were both middle-aged women who, in Ed's completely twisted mind, looked like his mother. So what in the world was going on inside his head? I mean, how could anyone even begin to justify these things? Well, the answers seem to lie in a perfect storm of severe mental illness and a lifetime of psychological abuse. After he was arrested, psychiatrists officially diagnosed Gein with schizophrenia. He was basically living in a fantasy world.
His reality wasn't our reality. He couldn't tell the difference between what was real and the delusions that his mother's teachings had fueled his entire life. Psychologists also bring up something called the Madonna Whore complex. Sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple and really, really twisted. Augusta had taught him that she was the only pure woman on earth, the Madonna. Every other woman, a sinful whore. This created this violent tug-of-war in his mind. He was drawn to and totally repulsed by any woman who reminded him of his mother. And all of this, the obsession, the complex, the isolation, it all boiled down to one single horrifying goal: See, after he failed to somehow will his mother back to life, he decided on the next best thing. He would become her. And that led to his most horrifying creation of all. A suit sewn from the skin of the women he dug up. It had a female torso with breasts, leggings made from leg skin, and a whole collection of masks made from their faces. The story goes that on moonlit nights, he would put it all on and dance around outside, finally becoming his mother. Gein's twisted little world came crashing down after he murdered Bernice Worden. You know, for all his monstrous plans, it was a simple sales receipt for antifreeze left at the crime scene that led the police right to his door. But believe me, his story was far from over. Yep, you heard that right. He was deemed mentally unfit to stand trial. So he was sent to a hospital for the criminally insane. And get this, he was apparently a model patient, polite, quiet, even good at arts and crafts. He died of cancer at age 77, having never spent a single day in prison. So even though Ed Gein himself kind of faded away in that hospital, his crimes created this whole new blueprint for evil in pop culture. Norman Bates in Psycho with the mommy issues, that's Gein. Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre wearing a mask of human skin, that's Gein. Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs making a woman's suit, yep, that's Ed Gein too. And that's really what we're left with. Ed Gein wasn't some alien that dropped out of the sky. He was created. His story is just this terrifying reminder that the most unimaginable monsters can be born from the quietest, most ordinary corners of our world, shaped by isolation, obsession, and a truly grotesque perversion of love.